this quarantine period, I can say pretty successfully ended up. Soon it will. Through my quarantine, days are passing by, cleaning around, sometimes organizing. Not so many things to worry actually. The whole room is pretty small, so you don't worry so much. Work on my computer. Try to wake up early as much as I can. I'm trying to, like today I woke up around 7:40 a.m. living in one room for 14 days. So in this room, you have to clean your laundry by yourself. That's a must. I mean, if you don't. You just put it in a garbage bag and just put it on the side. But I decided to not to do that. So anytime I take shower, you have to basically clean your own laundry. There's no other way. There's no service for no such a room service. Put the air blower on the side and just like let him, flow the air. That's another thing that you have to go through. You have to adapt through the change through this quarantine period. There's a little fridge there. It can take enough food, fruits, drinks or whatnot. I'm almost out of the black tea which I'm drinking right now, and I had 2 packs of black tea. I like to drink tea a lot. Usually take my breakfast a little late during these times, because when you do all types of self-improvement exercises in the morning, couple hours already done, so you just start your breakfast around 11:30, sometimes even 12. That actually lead me to not to always order or worry about ordering food, because I don't feel so hungry. I wake up and I start my day with fresh water and tea. During this period of time, I stopped coffee like entirely. When I was home, I was preparing my Turkish coffee, so I wanted to challenge myself to not to order any Starbucks, not do any coffee. So I was so lucky during this period of time having to know someone, because right now you are in China and none of your families are there. You're far from most of the people. Your best bets are your friends, or if you have some partners, or if you're married to a Chinese woman or anyone living here, then you're okay. But what if your friends or your partner is also in the quarantine with you, right? Luckily, this period of time, my girlfriend she has done her quarantine a while ago. I think I've talked about that in one of my videos. She was one of the earliest people that taking to the quarantine in 14 days exactly as we are. So she would drive all the way from there to the hotel, bring me water, fruits, food, even dress, like warmer sweaters, socks, all these things. And I'm like, wow, I should be grateful, So instead of thinking all the negative thoughts, waking up with gratefulness every day, your best habit that you can carry on during your normal days or when you're out of quarantine. So if you take this video as a recommendation, you can do this. When you wake up, you can do breathing techniques. You can look around what you can be grateful of. You can meditate, exercise, obviously, play guitar, play music, listen to music, dance, watch TV and movies if you don't want to be productive sometimes. I prefer to not do so much. Try to learn more and more. You can just read book. There are a lot to do that you can find in your own self-discovery. This is basically what I call. This is a period of self-discovery. And during the quarantine time, your best time. I mean, if you just want to stay silent the whole day, meditate. The only thing on this, in a hotel quarantine, they will just knock your door every day to take your temperature. they need to note that the rooms are pretty silent here. They are not loud, right? Other than I'm listening to loud music. Never I heard so much, noise and stuff. There's a bit of construction right there. That's the only thing I hear. Sometimes in the morning I hear a bit loud, but not so much anything bothering. I was lucky enough that in this hotel room I have a good view. Some other fellow foreigners, they ended up in the rooms that are facing towards a different direction, and nothing unhappy, nothing unfortunate, but for the 14 days period of time, having this kind of view for me, it's still a blessing. This area is facing towards Vanda Plaza, where most of the time the foreigners are, hanging out. And over there, right there, I have a music store. Those are friends of mine where I used to play many times for jam sessions. One day, my third or second day, we just messaged. I'm like, hey, I'm right here. I'm seeing your store all the time. There's a young lady. She's a good friend of mine. They're local people. And they realized I'm here. I just sent them pictures over social media, the WeChat groups. And then they were like, hey, we're going to wave at you. This was a very blissful moment for me. Like, people, friends from social media networks, my family, everyone is just pretty much asking what am I doing and how the things are going through. Good friends, staying in touch with people, it's one of the most crucial parts of this quarantine period, right? You're not alone, actually, none of us. And during this time, we also learn that we are not. We are more connected. We care about each other more and more. And we also understand the measure and the value of human connection very well during those times when you're isolated. Really asking people how they are doing, hearing from their stories, what they've been through. And again, going back to our topic for being grateful during the periods of time, it's one of the most important things that you're going to be grateful is your health. If you're healthy, that's the beginning of everything, right? Nowadays with social media, we got a lot of more deeper connection, more raw explanations, more authentic way of self-expression, so you can understand what people are going through, whatnot. Luckily, many of my friends, family, and relatives are in good spirits. Except some of the people, unfortunately, I heard far friends or friends that I used to know. Some of them had symptoms. Some of their relatives got positive COVID case. Basically, we are trying to focus on the positive aspect of this period of time. But if there are some negatives or some not good news, you cannot also unsee that. You just can see and just try to give your support. What I'm talking by connection, networking, understanding human values, even though friends that you haven't seen for a long time, asking how they are doing, is more grateful, more warm, more loving approach than previously what we were not doing. Most important habits that I adapted again was the breathing techniques, exercise, meditation, inner self-work, visualization during the meditation of what you want to do on your next step is a very crucial part. Taking cold shower, a lot of benefits come from these exercises, these new habits. That's how I just became a new self, new person. I actually reinvented myself, let's put it this way. When you do these exercises and self-improvement techniques, it really moves you forward. It really takes you off of your old self and builds a new, fresh self. You just really rejuvenate. Your whole body and health kind of improves rapidly. That's what I'm trying to say. It feels such a relief after all when you do all of these techniques. That's something I can proudly say, and I think it probably works for you too. I definitely recommend these exercises, recommend these new habits. Being productive during this time, definitely positive, but keep you also more refreshed, keep you more grateful, keep you more aware. Probably that's the most important part I would talk about quarantine periods. To have new skills, adapting change, go through a new period of life, meeting your new self. Because from now on, the normal life that we are going to back to live are not going to be the normal that we used to live. It's going to be a different normal life from now on for us, for many of us, for the whole world. Once I'm done here, I'm gonna take my girlfriend definitely for outside to celebrate this end of this period. Seriously, she did the best support she could do for me. She showed me her loving care so much. The reason I was repeating about, understanding human worth, values, connection was so important. So I saw a different dimension of this relationship that I'm going through getting unconditional support tomorrow and one more day after tomorrow. They may, ask me to stay. That happened to many people, but because today they just came and took my blood test, that might be a bit of an early exit for me. So we will see that soon. I will update you about that.